standing on the ledge. You've seen too much. They're closing in. The truth is dangerous. Let it begin. Wake the fuck up. Now's alive. The earth is black. There's a dawn in the sky. Wake the fuck up. Now's alive. The earth is black. There's a dawn in the sky. Wake the fuck up. Now's alive. The earth is black. There's a dawn in the sky. tower stands alone. 90.1 broadcast through the storm, warning everyone. Frequency cuts through the gathering storm. Signal bleeds into a brand new form. Can you hear the transmission? Can you feel it break? 90.1, 90.1. The sky is cracking open. 90.1. Antenna scrapes the clouds, voltage in the air. Remote screams out loud from the stratosphere. Red lights start to spin, our frame begins to bend. Something's coming in, this is not the end. Can you hear the transmission? Can you feel it break? 90.1, 90.1. The ground is splitting under. 90.1, 90.1. The world is tearing asunder. 90.1. Tune in, lock down. The frequency holds the key. Turn up, stay grounded. This is the last degree. 90.1.
Mom died in a heartache. Yeah, she died in a heartache. Yeah, I'm picked up in a heartache. Me mom died in a heartache. Me mom died in a heartache. Me mom died in a heartache. Yeah, the heartache. Me mom died in a heartache. I'm in the tongue, you see the love. Me mom died in a heartache. I'm in the guzzly, yeah. You wonder about how she say them. How many licks set fire? You wonder about how she crying. Every time I slurp, if I all this shit for serve. Back in the dark, but look at me, boy, I'm picking my heart in the night. No better now. Be no better now. Yeah, be no better now.
Oh, the trimmer. Yeah.
Chad, should I shave my beard or not? They want the old pump back, they want the old sneaker back. They want the old pump back, they want the old sneaker back. Fuck all that talking, man, they get straight to it. Fuck all that talking, man, they get straight to it. They want the old pump back, they want the old sneaker back. They want the old pump back, they want the old sneaker back. Fuck all that talking, man, they get straight to it. Fuck all that talking, man, they get straight to it. Boom, 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 foul, I'ma air it out. I just look, hella shrooms, got lost in my house. I'm a young rich nigga, sleeping on the couch. Police tried to up on me, but I pulled it out. Bow, bow, bow. But this nigga think about, this nigga almost lost his booty up at Diddy house. Rich had me that cost me like $250. It is bitch cheat on me, cut off a T. They want the old pump back, they want the old sneaker back. They want the old pump back, they want the old sneaker back. Fuck all that talking, man, they get straight to it. Fuck all that talking, man, they get straight to it. They want the old pump back, they want the old sneaker back. They want the old pump back, they want the old sneaker back. Fuck all that talking, man, they get straight to it. Fuck all that talking, man, they get straight to it.
Fucking clubbing every nigga tryna ban me. Stole that shit, give me that, I'm the top G. Stitching on me, dog, you said we was family. Like Chris Tyson switching on me like a tranny. And on Twitter, they don't fucking understand me. Ban me from everything, I don't give a fuck. Clavicular, I'ma hit him with the Cybertruck. Vehicular, driving off with the #1. Killing kids that they act like they cannot see. What a stomach, everybody wanna drop me? Taking steak deals, thought you had 8 figures. I'm not taking no shit from a wall kisser.
They want the old pump back, they want the old sneaker back. They want the old pump back, they want the old sneaker back. Fuck all that talking, man, they get straight to it. Fuck all that talking, man, they get straight to it. They want the old pump back, they want the old sneaker back. They want the old pump back, they want the old sneaker back. Fuck all that talking, man, they get straight to it. Fuck all that talking, man, they get straight to it.
Rate that song 1 to 10.
I like that. I would say 8. I like it.
Damn.
My guy. Thank you, doggy.
Hey, I appreciate having the honor to do that.
Six, here we go. Wait, sorry guys.
Voices rise from distant hills, the frequency that binds us still. 90.1, the call resounds, where all who seek the truth are found. 90.1, the frequency of fire. Revolt, revolt, the airways break their chains. 90.1, thunder through the flames. All voices join as one. The anthem has begun. Revolt's radio war battle has been won. Across the valleys, through the storm, no voice will ever stand alone.
The dial turns, the signal clear. 90.1, we gather here.
We gather here, the frequency draws near. Revolt, revolt, the airwaves break their chains. 90.1, thunder through the blaze. All voices join as one. The anthem
Revolt Radio, our battle has been won. Fortuna nobis cantat, fortune sings to us, novanta puntum unum. 90.1 Libertas per freedom through the air. Revolt, the airwaves break their chains. 90.1 thunder through the plains. Our voices join as one. The anthem has begun. Revolt Radio, our battle has been the frequency remains.
I've been searching through the static, trying to find something that feels right. Then I stumbled on your frequency, and everything came together. Revolt Radio
90.1,
your sound of soul,
90.1,
the heartbeat of the city.
where we belong.
Revolt Radio,
90.1,
they talking but they ain't saying nothing, just noise on every other station. You cut through all that mess, giving us what we need to hear. Revolt Radio,
90.1,
your sound of soul,
90.1,
the heartbeat of the city.
where we belong.
Revolt Radio,
90.1,
harmony in the streets, one voice. We all tuned in to the same rhythm now. Now, Revolt Radio,
90.1,
your sound of soul,
90.1,
the heartbeat of the city.
where we belong.
Revolt Radio,
90.1,
your sound of soul.
90.1,
Revolt Radio.
Me mom died in the Harley. Yeah, she died in the Harley. Yeah. Me mom died in a holiday. Me mom died in a yeah. Me mom died in a yeah. Me mom died in a I'm in the trunk, yeah. She in a yeah. Me mom died. I got the bells, they ring. Me mom in the Harley, she say I'm on a Yorkie, I'm flying. Me mom in the Harley, she dying. Lost me the turban, I'm swerving. In the Harley, she deserve it. Everything purple, everything Holly. I'm geeked off the Harley. I'm on my died in the died in the died in a died in a died in a
Welcome. Hold on. Welcome to the Rfo Show on Revolt Radio 90.1. Right here. We have it live on Facebook, embedded when we're live under the live tab. You can either listen on the live button player in the car or watch the video and see what we're talking about on screen. We also use the Facebook and the live page for live weather events and others, like, they're about to kill us with this, breaking news, bombs are going off, like, live emergencies. What we're trying to do right now. Then we're trying to get a 24-hour like video channel. And y'all couldn't hear me because it had this crap mic that's on this other webcam here. We switched it over to the stock mic on the computer. It's a lot louder. I'm going to try to be a lot louder. But if you don't know what the Rfo Show is, formerly on just DJ DIAKO2, then we started doing it on both, rebranded with the OBS, the new stuff, the new logos, finally got them incorporated, and now we're going full time just on the radio channel. It's a show where we interview people, we talk about what's going on, but most importantly, we doom scroll. We talk about what the f is all this bullshit, this anti-Semitism, this just like my whole life seems to be a lie. Like the tinfoil hats are winning people over. Why? What's been verified? That seems a lot of these conspiracies are true. Most of them, 95% of them, 100% of them. The other ones that haven't been confirmed, give it 6 months to 2 years, and they'll have to admit it. They legalized. Uh, Obama was in. Been changing the game forever. But when Obama was in, they legalized and removed all these things and protections against propaganda and lying to your citizens. And they've just been making that legal. They've declared war on us. They've all converted to Judaism, and Jewish supremacy is everywhere. People want to know what that is. It's the top thing right now. It's like, wait a minute, we've been lied about this. If they're possibly the synagogue thing, not the real, we want to know. Israel's got too much influence on our politicians. They're all scared now because we figured it out, and they're whining. Oh, all civil rights attorneys were Jewish. Like we're supposed to like just be triggered by conditioning of that. Now that we know civil rights, human rights, and all their legalese mean something totally different to them in their own books. And they've had us in our school thinking that in fluent regular English that it means something else. So we're gonna get into it. We'll start with Facebook. We'll go look around YouTube Shorts, and we'll just go review some of these clips here from podcast shows, everything else. We're always inviting people to come on. If you got Google Meet, we'll try it. If you got audio, that would be great. You can mute up, talk on the phone like with an audio thing. That would be cool too. But Google Meet can show the screen, I think, and I'm still able to show my screen on here. I hope so. We're gonna get everything situated to where we can do that, where I can, you know, where we can get all that going. Because it seems that they're doing it with OBS and multiple things are showing the screen without overloading this computer. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm gonna try it out and see. Y'all will be the first. I've been used to interview and talk to a lot of random people who just come up to either debate or talk to me on TikTok. Lost a lot of that because of it's getting deleted. At the time, I was lazy and didn't want to download and re-upload everything and make shorts. And damn, I regret it because now there's not a lot of it there except what other people have re-uploaded. So DJDIAKO 55 on most stuff. And then if not, then it's probably DJ Dyko 2 or something because I've got banned or have a backup account. So on YouTube, we're coming back with this stream. I don't know if we're going to re-upload this back. I don't know what I'm going to do over there. I'm just going to have to go over here. Over there, we're just going to get into like IRL and just reactions and reacting to Sneeko and give him my opinion and take. I don't know. We're going to do stuff like that. But here, let's get into it. For the radio listeners, thank y'all for tuning in the car. We got a new tower, transmitter. We need a tower, but we just got a transmitter. We got to get all the grounding equipment. Not enough people are, supporting the show by the website. Just go check it out. Keeps us on air. We got to buy an American page where we're getting mostly made American products, but if it's outside of UN and it's a country making good products, that should be a preferred ally to the people that are more friendly with us. Then, I'm not buying crap from Israel. You won't see me ship it. But China should have been the ally I would work with all this time. We could have worked with China. You've seen the military people cry about that. We could have worked with China. We could have worked with China. All this Epstein crap coming out, all the countries that we were gaslighting and that we kept trying to say, yeah, we just need to be friends with them. But now they're all PDF religion, and those are our friends. So how does that look for America with all these people fighting in the street over this crap? So that, and apparently, I've been listening to stuff. My grandma's been watching all the mainstream stuff. I watch all the independent stuff, and we come together and then talk about things from both sources. And they claim that somehow, like overnight, or just within like a week or so, I don't know, but they've pulled ICE out of Michigan and the protesters are clashing. And it can only mean usually one thing. Because they were united over, freedom, and most of them were awake to Israel, the IDF, Palestine. They had us protesting Palestine instead of doing anything about it. They had us protest. They always got some side forming and protesting, and it's financed by the. Apparently, they're now fighting each other. And it can only be because Jake Lang and the Jews are victim mentality kicked in after he got kind of beat up. And maybe he, right, decided to bring in reinforcement controlled ops. That, if that's true, that's kind of what I want to get into first. But we're going to see if there's any doom scrolls on it. I'll check YouTube real quick and we'll get it on screen on Facebook for those watching. Probably on this one the most. We'll just go over here. Check out the, oh crap, Full Disclosure Act. Let's check this one more time.
These are Freemason courts, these are Freemason judges, and the reality is secret. It's the Freemasons, people. These are Freemason courts, these are Freemason judges, and the reality is secret societies need to be eliminated from our government.
Hang on, let's get this full screen where I can comment on
which is what the Full Disclosure Act is all about.
Well, all right, my friends, here we are back again at the state capital of Colorado in
Holy shit,
Denver. This time we are here for SB 26027, which is...
And of course, it went away. First thing that come up distracted me. This guy's like at one of the, like DC or at one of the capitals somewhere, talking about the Full Disclosure Act, one of these many things. that we are using against them because everything's secret. Actually, Freemasonry mimics Jewish Kabbalah and Talmud rituals, and is why Supreme Court appeal filings have evidence already proven before that Talmudic law runs American state courts. We Jews, not Jewish slaves, but we slaves of the Jews. On paper, straight up how all your family judges and attorneys, foster homes keep getting away and crimes against children fight safer. Alright, bam. Let's see what this guy has to say one more time. Only 2 minutes 58 seconds, and then we'll get into it. More people are talking about the Uniform Commercial Code. This Daniel Garcia claims to have pulled off a bill of exchange on a Lambo. I'll see it when I believe it.
It's the Freemasons, people. These are Freemason courts, these are Freemason judges, and the reality is secret societies need to be eliminated from our government, which is what the Full Disclosure Act is all about.
Well, all right, my friends, here we are back again at the state capital of Colorado in Denver.
Yes.
This time we are here for SB 26027, which is equal parenting.
The reality is this, folks. Let's just get it straight. This is about money for the state of Colorado. You guys get about $300 to $400 million from Title 4D. The judges get part of that money. The judges are incentivized to take children. Court is a closed loop system. They would not allow outside experts. They only allow their own experts. I have a case against the CLR. I testified against the OCR last week. It is the most corrupt organization I've ever seen. Your oversight committees do not oversight anything. They only protect the system. The reality is this is a money system for Colorado, and I'm going to FOIA your past 3 years of Title 4D applications, and I assure you that you're not in compliance. Colorado will be paying money back to the federal government. This is nothing about children. This is only about incentivized money from Title 4D and Title 4E, and it's got to stop. The children are being abused. My child was literally, the judge changed the order 15 minutes before I picked him up so the mother and the therapist could torture my child to try and blame it on me. Your judges are completely corrupt across the board in child custody, in criminal, in tort. I've given you a list of over 1,000 constitutional violations, audit style, one line per piece, what each judge has done in Colorado. And I encourage you to go through that list, because the reality is there's no point in passing this law or any law if you don't fix your judges. Your judges are completely corrupt, and furthermore, the Full Disclosure Act really comes down to what it really is. It's the Freemasons, people. These are Freemason courts, these are Freemason judges, and the reality is secret societies need to be eliminated from our government, which is what the Full Disclosure Act is all about. This is a secret society problem, is what it is, which leads to child trafficking, which also leads to adrenochrome abuse, which my case is tied to Jeffrey leads to adrenochrome abuse, which
Say Epstein? You've almost said Epstein. The internet's cutting out. Hold on, folks.
my case is tied to Jeffrey Epstein. In 2009, I got a child trafficking payment. I reported it to Kamala Harris. She covered it up. This is all tied to child trafficking.
Because it really leads to court corruption and exposing what's going on.
So the courts are aware of it, and I don't know why it's cutting out. This is nuts. Title 5D and other funding is a legal loophole for government, full on lawful whatever, getting away with it. What do you call it?
In these courts. So, wish us luck. We're well prepared. And once again, Full Disclosure Act. Talking to the legislature.
Quotas and everything else.
And making it happen. Sign, share, and promote the Full Disclosure Act every single day. It's time to expose and eradicate the secret societies from our government and to make sure both parents have a fair chance at raising their kids. I love you all. Peace.
So the government owes you. Why? Because they took away your constitutionally mandated lawful money of exchange. Now they owe you. So Article 3 of the Uniform Commercial Code, right here, okay, checks, drafts, and notes. Over here, it explains. Coming over here, it says, value when an instrument is taken. Okay, taken for value. If they can draft an instrument, you can as well. In payment of an antecedent debt, even though that there is no extension of time or other concession, and whether or not debt is due. Now, come over here to antecedent claim, right here. You go over to antecedent, and it says over here in antecedent, earlier, pre-existing, previous, okay? Preceding thing, okay? Ladies and gentlemen, you're owed, but it's the way you ask for it is what matters. Have a nice day.
We also do local corruption too. Here you go. Sean Buckner again. I've been asking him to help with Stillwell's corruption. We all small departments. Make it clear to Sean Buckner, Ron Durbin, and anyone else that bar card's only going to make it worse. Anybody that has one or associated with one. It's good that he lost it and realized that, damn, that was corrupt. These bars are in it. They're the problem. They're in the secret club where they get to get away with things that we can't. And yeah, whatever. It's not a state issued license. This, that, and the third. And that these guys incorporated under the color of law and are still using, even though Chevron was overturned, they're using Chevron deference to allow them special permission from these fake judges. They're not Article 3 judges. But since they're able just to interpret whatever, they can just interpret and say, well, we just figured cops can make up the law on the side of the road based on the situation to help protect them. And they can. They can make up whatever, whenever. It doesn't have to be fact at all. And they can stop you for no reason at all. It even says that in things that you agree when you register cars and things like that. All this stuff is real. If you read like the Motor Vehicle Theft Prevention Act, which was in '98, it put a federal like standard for registration and tags in America. It says, well, by being a part of this, you agree that You can be stopped by law enforcement or cops anytime on the roadway, even if you didn't do anything, do anything unlawful on the roadway. They can make sure that it's not stolen, because you're the only one permits to drive it. It's like driving your grandma's car back in the day. No one else drive it, honey. You know what I'm saying? Or your mom's car, or your dad's truck. You know what I'm saying? It's like same thing. You register it to them, and then boom, someone else is in it. They're gonna accuse you of stealing it. You can't just like, hey, can I borrow the truck this weekend? Because now you gotta have all this paperwork. You have to be able to call them and be, yeah, man, I let them use the truck, man. What's going on? The great divide in law enforcement. Before we get into this, there's no Water County, just above Adair County, I believe. The Chevron got overturned. It wasn't but like a few weeks, even if that I was calling all the sheriffs, non-emergency lines, and letting any clerk or anybody they'd let me talk to, just letting y'all know that y'all might have to operate things different up on the side of the road without Chevron to kind of just give you a blanket window to assume what you guys can do. And a lot of them were like, yeah, especially this guy was like, yeah, our legal team's reviewing it. And then, by the way, I do know that y'all guys don't have to have a license anymore. I see it and had to see it to believe it. It's like, oh, really? I heard something about that, but I don't know, a lot of weird shit on the internet. I had to see it to believe it too. So and he typed in, here's the case real quick versus whoever. And that was one big Supreme Court one. There's tons of them. So, yep, at this point, when the cops are in agreement, you got former police chiefs, tons of officers and deputies, and even former sheriffs, and active ones, all saying that we are in the right. They're standing down outside of the courts, and the counties and cities wanting to generate revenue, are telling them fuck off. There's a lot of things for licensed drivers, and like they still agree to be a part of these regulations, but the lawsuits are too much. So they don't have one, and they're doing it on purpose, and they didn't do any other moving violations. They just got stopped for a plate. A lot of them are saying, "Nope, have a nice day. I'm just making sure that you're good and it wasn't stolen. I couldn't read your information, but I had to stop you." So you get what I'm saying? So I'm tired of this fucking bullshit. And then you got South Police. I mean, you got Sequoia County Sheriff, where a lot of them are cool with it, and the other one's like, no, no, you're going to jail. So yeah, that's also my attack here and why I'm suing them and the tow companies and the Cherokee Nation again. So yeah, you guys are doing that. Y'all are policing for profit and breaking the law because a lot of these things are non-arrestable, non-finable. They're not a crime. Crime involves an injured party. You guys can't just make up what the definition of injured party is on the spot. Let's get into this. Sean Buckner, Stillwell, Oklahoma, Chief Lee Fleischman. Attachment, deleting text messages and emails. It's destruction of governmental records. You're admitting this is gold. Him admitting this is gold. Let's get it. See what's it say real quick for the radio people. Your town attorney is leading you to a lawsuit. I'll be assisting this guy in helping get his records. Look forward to meeting you, all the city folks in the positions of power that are hiding records. Now let's see what the clip says, because he's reaching 100K views too. Oklahomans are tired. Eastern Oklahoma is fucking tired of this bullcrap. They go all over the state though, especially Ron Durbin. They took his bar card, made him stronger. He didn't realize it yet. He's going back harder, but it's made you stronger. That, when you realize it's another gold badge that you're the slave market. They always go, you need to at least have private counsel. You have the right. If it's a right, then it's not that hard and it's protected everywhere. And it's just still to go, hey, look, I got it right. So why is it that, well, you have the right, but it's stupid and you need to get an attorney because you don't know what the hell's going on here? Well, clearly, if we're all conspiracy theorists and it's not administrative adjudication and it's the real court of law, then it should be very easy. Did I injure somebody? I go home. That's what the real Article 3 courts of law say real fast, guys. But the reason is you don't hear that, you don't see that. They go, you have to get one of our, you at least need standby counsel. For what? I waive rights. I'll tell them straight up, I waive rights with standby counsel. And they still try to put counsel on there. I filed twice just to make sure, 2 different times at least. The cancellation or the paperwork, the proper affidavit or whatever. I don't want to say. To fire any or to get rid of, terminate any powers of attorneys, any counsel or standby counsel, any attempt to sneak it in later. I'm objecting and rejecting it now. Objecting to and rejecting it now. So yeah, if they admit that this on their paperwork that they're tribunals and this is administrative adjudication. You got to be adjudicated. You got to be arraigned, but they can't arraign you without standby counsel or counsel. So they move me around. They just come back next month and try it. And they'll try to sneak in standby counsel again. They'll just move you to next month. They'll, you're calm and you're respectful. You hardly don't say nothing. You just leave it all in the paperwork at the places where they actually read it. And it's like they just stall and finally dismiss, thinking you'll give in. So we're winning. The only way out of this is federal cases saying they don't have authority to do this. They're outside the scope of their authority. When they're outside the scope of their authority, when they're acting commercially, policing for profit, commercially licensed, Dun& Bradstreet numbers at the police and sheriff and doing all this, all of it's, they fail to be officers of the law or government officials. That's right there in the Clearfield Doctrine. So everybody's like, oh, you'll see stupid people or bar attorneys make up their own semantics, but it's very clear. As soon as they take your SSN, just like the bank does, to get a business loan or to get a loan at all, that's a commercial transaction. It's commerce. You're buying something. So, and they're taking the SSN. You're having to use money. And you're not, you know what I'm saying? And you're paying what's like very similar in law, if not the same, as a retail installment contract with the payment plans. So it very much has been confirmed by I believe you in the Supreme Court, that these courts violate this a bunch of crap, including the Clearfield Doctrine. Therefore, on its face, they're not government. That's why they always say, "Are you a citizen? Are you a resident? Are you a citizen?" Because that gives them power to violate you and say, "Oh well, this guy don't have rights." Look at the Nationals now. A lot of them are letting them go and they go violate a citizen's rights because they're understanding. Oh, so I can still rape and beat and murder citizens, right? They don't have rights, and when it really clicks, oh, they don't have rights. I kill them off, then we can get away with it. But as Nationals, if they get away with killing us off, that's one thing. But you got to go all in. You can't just be like, well, I want some clout off beating a few bad cops. You got to say, hey, look, this is it's all put together. You can watch documentaries on it. Nationwide trained behavior on police. Acting like it's isolated events and looking for the red herring of good cops and good departments. They don't exist. They're all incorporated. If nobody's trying to make common law sheriff department and be a de jure sheriff, instead they're acting de facto like all the others. You know what I'm saying? Why they're on duty. You know what I'm saying? Then that's all we're doing. We're like, well, it can't be all of them, and we're just individual officers, but they all keep no, they're all hiring and allowing them, and it's been going on. They're all doing it because it's trained nationwide. They were trained by people that trained them were trained by the IDF in Israel, by the Jews. The ones killing Palestinians that killed 200 million Christians. Oh, yeah, we can't. Oh, the Muslims. No, all your issues that they propaganded us about Muslims were dark skinned Arab Jews pretending to be Muslims. They don't even wear the shit right. They don't speak it right. They don't say, uh, Asamallah or whatever. Bless the Lord. Bless him. Or after everything when they're talking about their religion, like real Muslims do. And then you got the Kevin Gates and all these fake singers and rappers. They go to jail and all these, oh, I'm a gangster. I'm a street nigga. And then they go to jail, get raped once, and then they come out begging for the sheiks to save their ass. They're sucking off the sheiks, nigga. Why is all these gang rappers like, oh, what happened to, he's not even rapping like that anymore. Dirk and all them. But the body folks that they know when I shoot him in the head. And now he's all like, I'm the voice of the people. I'm really real. I want to sound like a preacher, but I want to sound like a gangster preacher. Like I really sound soft as hell. Like I took the kitty thing, but I'm the biggest gangster because the biggest, most famous gangster ass motherfuckers go gay as hell for the racks. And even though that violates all the everything that the gangsters below him believe, oh my God, what happened to Virgil? You know, from I kill him in the head. Oh my God, what happened to Virgil? Oh my, like I don't know. That's where we're at now. But no, bro, for real, bro. All this shit is verified. You can check it and verify it in every law library. The amount of dismissals, if there's a record, there should be a record by now. The amount of dismissals by sovereigns. They probably delete and make it hard to find since we're always thrown in at the last. My name starts with a C, clearly. My last name starts with a C. When I go to Cherokee, they throw me up there now in tribal court instead of county like they used to do. McGirt thing. Boom, boom, boom. I'm always even up there. They can't rebut it. They always just throw me at last, thinking if I sit there all day, if I keep getting thrown, I have to come back the next month, the next month. If they get to the department of my county to bother me, to stack the same charges on and on and on, thinking that the damn fine and the big amount bothers me, it doesn't bother me. You can't arrest me for being poor. You can't fine me. You can't make up fines with your 800 new laws a year and make up fines and financially enrich yourself and to threaten me with a ransom. You can't steal my car for traffic infraction, for no tag, no license, even speeding and any of that shit. It's not a murder weapon, and you can't steal my car off the side of the road if it's not going to be sitting there blocking traffic, if it's not that I got arrested on private property and they need it removed. Those are your only things. If it's a murder weapon, if it violates the Caregiving Act, meaning it obstructs and looks bad, could injure somebody running, could plow into it on the city, like during an accident, right? You got to get all the shit off the road. The Caregiving Act, not because he didn't have a tag, not because I can go back and pick it up the same way back in the day you used to. You could, and you probably still can. Oh, just leave it on the side of the road. We'll come back later with the trailer. Who's going to get a giant shitbox Chevy all locked up like that? They're not going to rob it in a parking lot. They're not going to rob it on the side of the highway down the road from the parking lot. That's what I'm saying. If they want to threaten people with fines and then get pissed, we'll impound your car, and then you'll have to pay a ransom. They're ruining our lives financially. So it's cool that they want to be aggressive and abuse their power, but all that started with us getting pissed at them policing for profit and admitting to the crime. Now, another officer that I believe y'all guys posted about it was Quentin or wherever, that guy that we hired here, the Salsa or whatever just hired, right? Or somebody. And you said he used to be the chief. And that fat Karen on the news after they spend months, the county's in making the revenue now. And you could tell, like, some of the population in the comments said it was a hot spot for a while. Just, they're that small, like my end. There ain't a lot of people that live there anymore because of it. They end up increasing the revenue of traffic infractions for their people that drive through to the other towns or the interstate. And a lot of them have gotten in trouble and backed out on that shit. You don't see them pulling people over anymore. But, that's what I'm getting at. She gets up there, this Karen, on the news, and is like, oh, in kind of a sad voice, this is crazy, it's sad. Not worried about the rule of law and takes longer for sheriff to get to our town. We're small. We like to have one or two guys here in case shit gets wild with the alcohol and the. No, it was the $14,000 in revenue from traffic infractions. Like, they didn't injure nobody. Failure to signal, 5 over, but racking them up all day, competing with each other. So she admitted to the quota, or she admitted to the finance at $14,000. That's not teaching people a lesson, safety. That's not, hey, don't do that. No, all those things you're charging traffic infractions cops, they literally don't do that crimes. Maybe fix it tickets, but no, they're not even tickets. You read the case law in the Supreme Court, they've made it very clear throughout history that that's not what y'all are supposed to do, that it's a violation to generate revenue off the people with infractions. Now, whatever happens, if I murder somebody, assault somebody, I damage their property, I cause them harm, I rob them, larceny, grand theft auto, whatever, that's different. somebody physically is injured, physically or financially, right, or whatever. The state of Oklahoma, a P.O. box, all caps, and leave this P.O. box, Washington, D.C., can't be directly, physically, injured to be on the injured party part of the docket, right? Plaintiff and defendant, right? They're suing me, right? Like, I thought the cop had a complaint. Should be me versus officer so and so, maybe South Saw Police Department, the Sequoia County Sheriff's Department, the county district court. But no, some fiction that's not even like assumed to be on this meets and bounds right here. I can't face the state of Oklahoma and put him on the witness stand. That's how I get cooked. Or the Cherokee Nation. That's how they get cooked and we win all these cases. They take a while sometimes and they call a bluff and try to test us. But you can't. By law, it has to be somebody that has an ID with the same matching name, physical appearance, that I can point across the room like the cops try to do and say, I witnessed that guy driving, false made up terms, shoots yourself in the foot, doesn't, and he'll admit he doesn't know, he has to refer to the statute about registration and who it applies to. So they admit they're ignorant, and they just pull the script and they stick to it. And now a lot of them have quit and said, hey, look, I'm either quitting and suing or, whatever. And if they get fired or they quit, they speak out about this and they become nationals. We've even had clips of cops saying if you won and you can prove, show me the court case papers, I'll turn my license in right now. I don't want to pay the registration and taxes on this bullshit every year. That's the thing. You have people telling you they have to, but the law says they don't have to, and they're criminals if they tell you. So it's a crime to enforce this. It's non-arrestable. It's feelings enforcement. You can ask even delete laws. They're a perfect place to do an interview about what you got going on around here, just to get the word out and keep your insights up. And it's go and delete laws. He'll tell you he's researched every case law that they use against us behind the scenes or that they assume is positive, and a lot of it isn't. But yeah, they can stop you for any reason. Anything that's suspicious. You look to the left, you look to the right, you blink, you stop in the middle of the intersection. The brake light comes on in the middle of the intersection. You don't stop for 5 seconds. You stop more than 5 seconds. You know what I mean? All those, everything. They could just make up, well, I thought you looked at me weird. Your windows are dark. I couldn't tell. So, what are you doing? Where are you headed? Oh, what is that? Oh, you think that's just them trying to fish and be fluent and act friendly? Where are you headed? Actually, when you tell them, oh, I'm coming from here to there, they just make up out of nowhere. Well, that's a drug route. That's a drug route. You're on a trap house in between. Coming from the home to the trap house and the cell somewhere else. Boom, boom, bam. You don't know if that's true. Most of the time it's not. Then boom, they assume this, that, and the third. Bop, 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 bop. Right? Let's play this clip and then we'll take a quick break because all of a sudden lunch is going right through and I'm going to have to use the restroom real fast. But listen to this. Let's see what we got here. This is from Stillwell. We know it's corrupt. Could be somebody First Amendment auditing. It could be in response to corruption or a lawsuit. But yeah, you're hiding records. They're hiding evidence. They're getting all these drugs and then not keeping up with it. They're going after the potheads, moving it in. They're not going after the fentanyl that's here. So they'll get you for doing it. They'll get you for buying fentanyl. They'll get you for selling a little bit amount that you bought off someone else, right? You're not going to use if somebody dies. But a lot of the cops historically have been caught in a lot of these departments in this county. I'm in Sequoia County here. So let's get into it. I gotta go.
Request. You stated to me that you had me on a recording, and I'm sure your phone's paid for by the city and by our tax money. So I would like a copy of it. If you need me to bring you a thumb drive, I will, or you could just send it to that email address right there. And any other information that I'd asked them for on that request.
Well, I've deleted all that stuff. So.
Oh, you deleted it? Well, didn't you say you was wanting to charge me for it?
No, I deleted all that after the last council meeting. So.
I mean, didn't you say you was going to charge me with the misdemeanor
Have a good day.
for it?
Have a good day.
Well, I appreciate your time.
Yeah.
So I think I know what this one was about, and then we'll have to take a quick break. We'll be right back on the Rfo Show. Clearly, after being threatened with a suit or whatever, they were violating them, being aggressive, just escalating normal behavior for them on the side of the road or some shit happened. And now he's like, oh, we got the papers, let's do the lawsuit. You said you was going to charge me. Oh, I deleted all that. Now you're hiding records. Now I don't know what to think. I was threatened up, down, sideways. Now you're scared. But anyway, I thought I would ramble all that because y'all need to know this. And a lot of people still think it's sports crap while they're on the fence. Most people are having to be forced to read it themselves after the shit happens. They lose their bar, they lose their good paying job, or whatever, like Tanala Downing, Jessica Saxon, which you ought to look into them. Right back. Taking a lot longer. We'll play some music now. Sorry about that, folks. Only on the radio broadcast just above this. If you're on the website, we'll get back to the second part of it. We're over an hour. Sorry about that. But here we are. Revolt Radio 90.1 Rfo Show. Stick with us. I'll have to go check the mail, waiting on package equipment. Stuff for her. Let's get it. Go check the mail. All right. I'm working. We're back. Sorry, guys. Can't play the regular stuff and out of the music here that are like our theme songs. I don't want to play those again. We're back. Let's go. Y'all know what's going on. Round two. Let's doom scroll and see what else we got. I know that we just got started, but I had to use the bathroom and then I had to go check the mail, lock the gate, and wait on me. I could just got a phone, and the fake cops will leave me alone long enough to pull up. I would have liked to film that. I seen a protest against the Southall School. 4029 was there to film it to make sure it got coverage. I guess they stand against rapists somewhat, or they wouldn't even come all the way out here. They need something, right? And they cover that part. Honestly, don't know why being right there at the state line, they don't cover more into Oklahoma than they do. Just a lot of Western Arkansas, Northwest Arkansas. It's cool that they do that. The mix wasn't there. The mix TV should stream all their live broadcasts that aren't regular programming on their Facebook and YouTube, and then it should be doing this right. What 4029 did. So they gotta have a clip out by now. Let's gonna look into that. DJ Dyko here, the host with the most. Bear with me. I think we're just. I don't know. I was outside too on the way back, and I ate too much, I guess, or something with this apple juice, and I threw up a little bit. But this time it just busted something throughout my nose. I put a flap on it as a kid. I hope I didn't tear it up. My nose feels different after that. I breathe different. Um, let's see if we can get maybe a reel. What am I show? I don't know. YouTube, or maybe it's just going to be a TV thing. A lot of times they'll do a short. I don't see nothing. They were there. Maybe the YouTube, but I ain't got time for it. Official Jeffrey Epstein arrest calendar or counter. I'm sorry. Gotta do something about these missing children grabbed by the perverts. Convenience it's fast. Trial death penalty. Oh, so Trump posted the official Jeffrey Epstein pedophile arrest calendar. I thought that was a split thing with his tweet and an ironic twist that he was on there. He used to be that. He used to make the money doing that. He used to rape kids, whatever. When you're like, you have that much money and you're about to fall off and be like us, you'll do whatever to stay back on, right, Sneeko? Why would he say this if he's implicated? Why wouldn't he say this? Instead of doing his damn job and locking up a few hundred bad actors, Oklahoma, this is what this guy said, Oklahoma governor wants to criminalize over 400K medical marijuana patients. 400,000 patients, cancer patients, veterans, disabled people, seniors, folks just trying to sleep without pain. Because apparently the real threat to public safety isn't the criminals, isn't the fentanyl, isn't the guy, politicians getting compromised. It's sick people with state issued cards and people who aren't bothering nobody. What a pathetic, coward, lazy excuse for leadership. Is this a law and order? This is punished for the weak because you're too confident to confront the guilty. Don't fix the crime by torching an entire legal system. You don't fix the crime by torching an entire legal system. You fix crime, brace yourself. Arresting criminals. I know, shocking concept for someone allergic to accountability. Instead, he'd rather grandstand, fearmonger, screw over millions of law-abiding Oklahomans to score cheap political points, all while the actual criminals keep operating untouched. It's not governing. It's weaponized stupidity wrapped in a suit. So we're going to suffer, but not the people you're complaining about. Clown suit, the AI did, or they photoshopped it. If you're interested in walking out and DM me. It'll be happening tomorrow after 2nd. Oh, they got the school to walk out on Southall Transparency page. No clips yet. How many? Not sorry. This says Ivana Trump died in 2022 after a fall down the stairs. But Donald didn't bury her in a cemetery. He buried her at his golf course in Bedminster, New Jersey. A simple grave. No flowers, no visitors. Behind that decision was strategy, not grief. New Jersey law gives massive tax breaks if land is used as a cemetery. No property, income, or sales tax. Trump quietly registered the land as a nonprofit cemetery, turning one grave into a tax shield worth millions when you could just be exempt. Why don't people do that? If you're going to die and waste money that, nobody's going to pull up every day, but they would visit every day if you lived in the backyard. And if you started doing that generations back, just imagine the tax breaks that you would have, your kids or grandkids would have now. No way. A law firm offers to evict Billie Eilish from her mansion on behalf of the Tongva tribe. Ellis' admission that she lives on stolen land gives the tribe a rightful action to possession as a true owner of the property. 30-day notice is already written and ready to be served. You first. Fuck out of here. Photo from the files show a trap door leading to the ocean underneath. J.E. Island home. Is this where they threw the bodies? Was this the submarine port? Probably where they moved them. Of course, Just Lane or whatever the fuck has a submarine license. Of course, we know that there was violent videos of them raping, murdering, and death and eating and spirit cooking. All that stuff we was telling you about that Alex Jones was screaming and now he doesn't care anymore because he doesn't want to die. Now it's more mainstream than ever. They know that the people will do it. He's giving up, seems like. I don't know. Submarine wouldn't surprise me. Back in the 90s, you could buy a Russian sub with crew for $10 million. South Americans were building small subs in the 2000s to transport drugs as well, allegedly. And a lot of them weren't. This shit show of releasing the Epstein files is a wonderment to me. I'm a cynical person, think outside the box, but I could have known for a long time. Most won't believe, even though it's thrust in front of them. However, many other programs will become even more programmed. Will listen and eventually their minds will become to accept this. More people are sharing the same photo. Reclaim your scam footage. Get your, yeah, whatever. Post office. Hello, Daniel. I'll saying her name, Leah. Post office is the original bank, Pony Express. There's a locked box in Philadelphia that you would send remittance to for settlement. 18 USC 8 Cornell University Law. Post office will look up Form 25 trust accounts. It also canceled the United States stamps. See what she says.
I was in a class several this lady. Weird.
Uh-oh, I gotta mute up so you can hear, but it sounds like we're moving the goalpost, folks. It sounds like now, okay, it's not back to the remittance departments at the phone company, which was working. You could tell them, hey, look, remit. It worked for a few people like Verizon. Well, now we got somebody saying something else. I mean, clearly this stuff's in law that you can use these coupons, even your tax or the ones the county and city gives you. And use the coupon for their bills too. But let's continue. Sorry, pausing so it'll load better. I don't know what happened here to the internet. We'll try to reboot.
Why did he just say that I have to send everything out to Philadelphia? I think Philadelphia is actually the first post office ever. So I'm like, okay, if Verizon's not actually doing the wrong thing, then maybe since there's a trust at the post office, we need to be sending everything through the post office. And when I say through, I'm saying through the lockbox there. So who is in charge at the post office? It would be the postmaster, right? So at that point, now I'm like, okay, the postmaster in Philadelphia, I know that there's a trust account because there's actually a Form 25 that literally says trust funds, right? So that's actually a thing. But then I'm like, okay, so if I have my CRID and I have my EPS system, you know, my account set up, and I have all of that, then maybe I need to send everything to the post office in Philadelphia with maybe just a little letter of intent. So I was asking Chatty, how does he get that? Do I need to send a LOI? Do I need to send some sort of directive with it? And Chatty said no. Chatty said just send the remittance coupon because it's scanned.
So I'm like, okay, well, if it's scanned, then if that means that I endorse it, and then I also put a little stampy stamp on it, and then sign through it to cancel it out, meaning that I've paid the taxes on it, then it should just be deposited into the trust account. So instead of going through the post office and funding the account, we would actually go through, yes, the post office, but we would actually take those dividend checks. That is a Verizon, your Verizon bill, the remittance. We would take that, send it to the Philadelphia post master, have him deposit it into the account, and that's how we would also fund the account. What do you guys think? Oh, I like this one. Okay, so I figured out something. I was in a class several weeks ago, maybe a couple months ago.
You know, I was muted down here. Wasn't reading that. There's all that commercial stuff there. We gotta can't read all that. Oklahoma Senate advanced a bill that would bar first responders from taking and sharing personal images at crime scenes. Bill states that providing additional protection at crime scenes. Don't know what that is. Increasingly necessarily because information and images can be shared instantly. More leaks from the Epstein files there, folks. I don't want to read that. See what it says on Facebook. Jeffrey Epstein's assistant bought a single unlabeled $8,400 something dollar item from Wayfair. So there's the proof of the Wayfair was trafficking kids. If we didn't have it already. Bill Gates loses 440 billion in a single day as Microsoft shares. As Microsoft shares plummets after the release of the Epstein files, something else is in here beeping. She must have put something in here. Jeffrey Epstein's assistant bought a single. Same thing. More people posting it. For start, I find it deeply disturbing that these files being released and the exposure of so many people in power has somehow become an opportunity to celebrate one person who wasn't involved rather than serving justice right up some of these pedos' asses. What are your priorities? You discover who was involved in sexually assaulting one of your children. Do you instantly think, I told you it wasn't? The point of this is you focus on who didn't. You focus attention on who didn't. Guess what? Literally everyone else didn't. They didn't involve themselves in child trafficking, satanic rituals, murder, money laundering, etc. This investigation fooled you into thinking it was prove someone innocent and the guilty disappearing in the shadows while you celebrate. You better be just as loud when you're done telling everyone, told you he didn't do anything wrong. When it comes to serving this justice to those who did, your behavior always reveals too much about more than what your loud mouth ever sees. Clearly, Kanye was marked safe from the files. What? How about the people that we know for a fact now, without a doubt, that we already knew from the leaks? Israel, what? Hang on.
These flyers anymore in the state of Florida. I'll get 5 years in prison because Randy can't throw these flyers anymore in the state of Florida. I'll get 5 years in prison because Randy Fine, the Jew, made it a 5-year hate crime for talking about Jewish supremacy. Flew to Israel with Ron DeSantis to take away Americans' First Amendment. Okay, this should be tried for treason. With that being said, my name is John Minadio. My online moniker is Handsome Truth. I am the founder of GoyamTV.com and the co-founder of GTVFlyers.com. I'm a free speech activist and a pro-white activist. I stand up for white people, and I don't care what names people call me. Tonight, I will discuss with you my disgust I have with the current state of affairs in this country. It is time to put down the Netflix. It is time to put down the sports ball, and it's time to get sober and wake the heck up to what has happened to our nation and who is behind the falling of America. Paul Revere once warned and said the British are coming. The British are coming. Well, today I'm here to warn the Jews are here. The Jews are here, and they're here to destroy us. We always talk about spreading democracy to all these third world countries. Well, why aren't we doing anything for our European cousins who are being jailed for hate speech laws? By the way, did you guys know that it's illegal in 17 countries to question the Holocaust? 17 countries in Europe.
Hate speech laws violate free speech. Hate is not a physical act and is protected. I hate everyone equally at this fucking point.
be thrown in jail. That's coming to the United States next, and I'm proof of that, okay? We are too focused and worried about hurting the feelings of some subhuman homosexual or making sure some she-moon feels like she has equality compared to whites when affirmative action proves that they can't compete with us on an even playing field. Who is pushing this message? Who owns the damn media in this country? When I ask people in real life this question, most reply with, I don't know, the government? Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here today to deliver some shocking facts. This 2% minority, Jewish minority, would you trust them owning our media in this country when this is what they do to their children? Why are Jews allowed to suck baby penis? Okay? After circumcision, they suck baby penis and control our media.
Hey, sir, we're not going to go there.
Clearly, they're fucking the internet up. It's cutting in and out. Usually, this works. But we're going there. He just diverted hardcore. He already knew they were mad, but they weren't mad at it. They weren't trying to stop him, so he went there. I agree. Why are Jews allowed to suck baby penis and slurp the blood of circumcision up off of it with their mouth, transferring their disease onto the kids, herpes, whatever, slurping it up like it's mud, slurping like it's mud, whatever song that is. Like, that's gross. Excuse the language. You got kids in that car, but they need to know, like, we all were circumcised, probably by some Jew doctor that's in there. Oh my God, Brian. That was amazing. Oh, I love being Jewish now, Brian. Oh my God. You mean I can do that all the time? And I can, yeah. He went there. Holy shit. I wish I could have my buddy free from Belgium because he fucking knows what's going on. Stop playing with me.
Media.
Hey, sir, we're not going to go there.
That's the truth.
Well,
this is a Jewish practice. Are you a Nazi?
Okay, sir.
Well, are you saying that's bad that Jews do this? That's what I'm saying.
Mayor, your time's up.
Mayor, I move we stop this.
Yep, no, his time's up.
Do something about it.
Okay. And to introduce or talk about a person by their ethnicity first and then their name, that's offensive. And I don't appreciate what y'all did this evening. And obviously you use your First Amendment right to do so.
Yeah.
But I thought it was very offensive.
Israel first. We got it.
Yep.
We know who you side with.
Okay.
Sell out.
Hold on, Ms. Ham.
The country when this is what they do to their children. Why are Jews allowed to suck baby penis? Okay? After circumcision, they suck baby penis and control our media.
Hey, sir, we're not going to go there.
That's the truth.
Well,
this is a Jewish practice. Are you a Nazi?
Okay, sir.
Well, are you saying that's bad that Jews do this? Because that's what I'm saying.
Mayor, your time's up.
Mayor, I move we stop this.
Yep, no, his time's up.
Do something about it. Fine.
Okay. And to introduce or talk about a person by their ethnicity first and then their name, that's offensive. And I don't appreciate what y'all do.
It's allowed if you're a Jew. They all do that. Israel first. We get it. We're aware. Yeah, we're aware. Smash that like button. Cause we are aware, bro. Israel first or America first, and they can't ever answer. That's cray, cray. Everything is fake and gay, and the Jews are behind it all. Jew, 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 Jew. I've got to figure out what's beeping right now. I don't even have a fire alarm in here. Just a, just a smooth criminal. I'm just playing. What do you call it? That's how them Jews be singing and dancing around the fucking plane. Anyway, Rfo Show. Let's get it. That's crazy, bro. Let's just continue if it'll play. I'll continue on with the next thing. Breaking news: Epstein parties inside U.S. consulate. Alvarez, or however you say his name, was holding. Jeffrey Epstein was holding the group Braves. And the what? Inside the what? Inside the U.S. controlled facility in Juarez, Mexico. Nothing happens in Juarez without the knowledge and likely involvement of the Mormon faction El Pastor cartel in alliance with the Mexican cartel. Right? It's never the American. Our son, the Fort Bliss whistleblower soldier Richard Holiday, courageously exposed the same criminal network: child sexual exploitation, criminal trafficking, institutional complicity, and Fort Bliss connections to the Walmart mass shooting. They were trying to stop President Trump's administration investigations and move toward accountability, including ending of Jeffrey Epstein to John of God trafficking pipeline. For doing the right thing, our son was murdered. How could a top number one dedicated Fort Bliss Army still a shoulder? True hero like Richard Holiday ever find security or justice when the institutions he reported to, meant to protect them in the USA, were, as evidence confirms, the very perpetrators themselves? It's no longer just a family's claim. The emerging documents are catching up. So, Holiday. See, a lot of people are not buying the national, like the no license thing. Maybe we're beating it, but they're still arrested and car impounded like me.
It is not a crime. No, it's
So, cop says it's a crime, right? So, what is a crime?
Here we go.
Violation of a rule, law,
Here we go. This is going to be one of those. This is what this says. It's true. I agree that's there, but the cops don't.
statute, code. Not necessarily. See, this is where a lot of things get confused, okay? Because people just label things crimes and they're not. Check this out. Look at this. This is a court case. All right, so this is State versus Thomas. This is an Arizona Supreme Court case. This is from 1954, October 18th, 1954. State.
Pause real quick. Before Chevron deference doctrine, which made them, they can interpret however they want to now. Yeah, now that we're back to these cases, they forgot about it.
Of Arizona appellee versus Arthur Thomas appellant. Okay, now we're going to go look for corpus delicti. All right, now we're here. We're going to turn the phone sideways, okay, and we're going to look at what happens here. Generally speaking, the term corpus delicti means one applied to any particular offense that the specific crime charged has actually been committed by someone. It is made up of two elements. One, that a certain result has been produced. For example, a man has died or a building has been burned. And two, that some person is criminally responsible for the act. It has been said that corpus delicti consists of the facts that a crime has been committed and the defendant was implicated in the crime. Okay, so what do you need? 2 elements. Certain result has been produced, like a victim. Okay, you have to have a victim. See, they're showing that, like a building being burned can victimize people. A man dying, that he's a victim. It's a victim. And that some person is criminally responsible for the act. If it was an accident, it's not criminal. It wouldn't be considered criminal if it was an accident. Like manslaughter. People still go to jail for that. But it wasn't done maliciously or with the intent. That's called mens rea. Okay? So, the cop's saying it's a crime. But my question is, has he gotten this first element? I don't think so. It sounds like they busted in her window, and in that case, wouldn't she be the victim then? Sounds like she's the victim in that case, because they broke her window, went through her property, a warrantless search of her property. They say probable cause, but why was she stopped in the first place? Most traffic stops are a violation of your 4th, 5th, and 6th Amendment right. Just saying.
It is not a crime not
To the sailors and Marines who were wrongfully discharged during COVID, we failed you. We will never allow this to happen again, not on my watch. We are ready for you to come back, and we want to correct your records. You are warriors of conscience, and we need people like you back in the force to accomplish peace through strength. We're righting this wrong, and it starts with this formal
They're desperate.
letter of apology. Semper Fi and Huya. To the sailors and Marines who were wrongfully discharged during COVID, we failed you.
I've released some crazy information. Here we have an email from Gregory Brown to, of course, Jeffrey Epstein, where he states, prior to the start of World War II, the Soviet Union was urging the United States and the Western capitalist nations to rise up against Hitler, to stop Hitler, as the Soviets understood that he was a serious threat, which we can get into all of that in a different video on a different platform. But there were people in the West who didn't want to stop Hitler because they hated communism more than they hated fascism. And they were hoping that Germany would destroy the Soviet Union. Until the attack of Pearl Harbor, Hitler and Germany had a lot of support in the US, including Joseph Kennedy. You guys may recognize that name. It is John F. Kennedy's father, and Henry Ford, obviously a very notable name as well, who supposedly gave Hitler $50,000 every year on his birthday, and he was awarded the highest honor a foreigner could be given by the Third Reich. When we jump back to that name, Gregory Brown, I was trying to figure out who this is and what connection they have to everything. What I came to find is there is numerous connections. I'm talking a rabbit hole so deep between Epstein, Gregory Brown, and Ariane de Rothschild. And even when you go into the Epstein library on the DOJ, you can search her name, and I mean, there's 4,442 results. But I'm telling you, this Rothschild rabbit hole goes so deep The Epstein files have released some crazy information. Here we have an email from Gregory Brown to, of course, Jeffrey Epstein, where he states prior to the start of World War II,
That is nuts. But I mean, come on now. Validated they're trying to kill us or whatever. The Navy apologizes for the vaccine. And more Epstein corruption. Come on now. It's all of them. Out here breaking Deputy Attorney Deputy Attorney General Todd Bland signals there will be no new charges brought in the investigation. Jeffrey Epstein for CNN. February the 1st. The what? Oh. YouTuber snuck into Jeffrey Epstein's island. Said ever since he's released a video 3 days ago, there have been many black escalades outside his house. Worried for his life. Even the government or other entities. Let's see what he says. Video, Doomacrolling, Rfo.
Guidelines involved with someone who is wanting to sue a government agency?
If you're going to sue any sort of government entity, whether it be the state, various departments of the state, any cities within the state, there are specific rules. There's a notice of claim statute that shortens the time frame as to what you can do. You have to, through your representative, if you have one, file a notice of claim within 180 days, which is a little bit less than 6 months right at that time from the accident to be able to maintain the claim. Then you have to give the government agency a period of time to respond to that claim before you can file a lawsuit. But even with those restrictions, the lawsuit itself has to be filed within 1 year. So if you've got a possible claim
under the Michigan Constitution, you have no authority to deprive me of my rights.
See how much authority I have. Court does call the case of the people versus Daniel Magoo.
Good morning, Your Honor. Ashley Lobby for the people.
Sir, state your name.
I'm here on a special appearance, Your Honor. Magoo is Easy Elastical Trust, registered in Jackson County, on case number 2522246.
Okay, is your name Daniel Magoo?
Your Honor, that is the name you seek, and it is copyrighted and trademarked.
Okay, very well. Ms. Magoo, are you represented by an attorney, or do you wish to be represented by an attorney on these matters?
I am not.
Do you wish to be?
No. Not at this time.
Let me then do this. You have two cases before this court, one being the case ending, let me get the full case number 25F40523. In that case, sir, the complaint does allege that on March 27, 2004, you committed the offense of operating while intoxicated. Do you understand what you're charged with?
I do not.
You do not understand
There is no eyewitnesses or corroborating witnesses at all.
I'm not asking whether or not the proofs are there. Do you understand what you were charged with?
I do not.
Do you understand the notion of drunk driving?
I do not understand how I could be charged with something without a witness.
Your other cases when you represent yourself, so we'll just do it.
Are you talking about the case that's in federal court right now, Your Honor?
You are for a complaint in that case for a charge of operating while intoxicated, third offense. Because it's a third offense, that is a felony. It is punishable by up to $500 to $5,000, up to 1 to 5 years incarceration. The court can order probation, 30 days to 1 year in jail, or at least 48 hours must be conserved consecutively. The court can also order community service, rehabilitative programs. The court can also order your vehicle immobilized, can order you to pay the cost of the prosecution as well as the cost of any emergency governmental services.
As I am hearing as a trust, Your Honor, I am hearing exclusive equity. Exclusive equity.
You count 2 on that complaint is the charge of operating while license suspended, denied, and or revoked. That is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 93 days in jail, $500 fine plus court costs, and your vehicle could be subject to immobilization.
My license is canceled, not suspended or revoked. It is canceled through the state of Michigan.
Complaint
canceled.
Is the charge of escape from lawful custody. That is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 1 year, a $1,000 fine.
I was never arrested or read any Miranda rights accordingly.
Given that the defendant is talking in English, that he understands English, understands the nature of those charges and what he's charged against.
So malicious prosecution by Washtenaw County prosecutor as usual.
Sir, there is great peril in representing yourself. You will be held to the same standards as anybody apply.
This is a matter under the Eastern District of Michigan Federal Court. Case number 2511226.
I would further indicate, sir, that at any point during these proceedings, if you wish to be represented by counsel, you can make that request to the court and counsel will be appointed to represent you. Because of the defendant's conduct in the past, in not acknowledging the court and what the court is saying, the court does make the presumption that he does speak English. He understands that. I would further state on the record that Mr. Magoo has been through this process before. He does understand that if he does wish to be represented by counsel, the court would give him counsel, or that alleges that on or about July 3rd of 2025, count 1 is fleeing and eluding 4th degree.
Added on by the prosecutor's office after the fact.
That is a felony, punishable by up to 2 years incarceration and a $2,000 fine plus court costs, mandatory suspension by the Secretary of State.
By Secretary of State, anything is canceled. I have no contracts with the state of Michigan.
That is a misdemeanor charge.
This is a matter of trust, Your Honor. This is a matter of trust. I am protected under a
90
trust.
days in jail, a $100 fine plus court costs. Count 3 on that complaint alleges operating a motor vehicle without security. That is a misdemeanor, not punishable by not more than 1 year incarceration and not less than $200 nor $500 fine plus court costs. Count 4 is operating while license suspended, denied, and or revoked. That is a misdemeanor.
All of my registrations are through the federal government. I have federal government registration. I do not have contracts with the state.
Could be subject to mobilization. Count 5 on that complaint alleges refusal to obey
I have an international driver's permit.
Officer. That is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 90 days, $100 fine plus court costs. I would indicate to the defendant the same admonishments regarding the perils in representing oneself that I stated in the other case also apply to this case.
Were you served your notice and summons yet, Your Honor?
Wishes to have counsel appointed. The court would consider or would appoint counsel to represent him in this matter, and he apparently wishes to proceed.
Were you served your notice and summons for federal court?
The charges, sir. Do you wish to still proceed without an attorney?
I just want to know, where do you get your powers? Are you an Article 3 judge or an Article 6 judge? Where are your vested powers? Can you answer that?
An attorney.
You can't even answer me what your powers are.
You can look it up.
No, you guys disconnected my access to any kind of law library or anything. You are an Article 6 judge under the Michigan Constitution. You have no authority to deprive me of my rights.
See how much authority I have. I will assume that you wish
this is a matter of
without
trust.
Counsel. I will assume you wish to proceed without counsel and that you will wish to continue to proceed
practicing law from the bench.
To inform the court otherwise. Ms. Lonnie.
Thank you, Your Honor. Is the court completed the arraignment for the record at this time?
Well, he had been arraigned. I was just admonishing him of the perils of representing himself, and that it requires in part that I let him know what he is charged with. And I've read them kind of in fully, more so than I would have, because he refuses to.
I didn't know you. I thought you had to be attorneyed up, have an attorney to be arraigned. I don't know. That's weird. Other judges say. Or get you arraigned till you get your counsel or a standby counsel. Come on.
acknowledge those. So I am satisfied that he now knows all of the charges that are against him.
Thank you, Your Honor. The people would like to be heard on bond when appropriate.
What do we want to set this for? Do you wish to have a preliminary examination, sir?
This is a matter of a federal matter now, Your Honor, under case number 2511226 under the Eastern District of Michigan under the Honorable Mark A. Goldsmith and Magistrate Judge David R. Grand.
Oh, my computer froze again. No start menu, no nothing. Can't switch tabs. Can't open OBS. I can't go back and forth from Chrome to OBS. The whole bottom part's not working. Get even this menu to come up to get tasks. Yep, the control delete menu is not even coming up. Hold on, folks.
There is no proceeding here, Your Honor.
There's no proceeding. Oh, there's a proceeding.
Well, yeah, malicious prosecution is what the proceeding is.
Okay, very good. Do you wish to have a preliminary examination?
There's no proceeding, Your Honor. This is a matter that should be stayed.
You're going to have to stop interrupting. I will give you an opportunity. You've been before me before. I will give you an opportunity to say whatever you want to say. But I'm not going to have you interrupt me, and I'm not going to have you interrupt people when they're talking. As long as you were saying.
Thank you, Your Honor. I have to there's video evidence in addition to the paper discovery. I've got to make arrangements with Lieutenant Arnett to work on that. So it may take just a bit longer. I would potentially look at the 7th, maybe, if the court would have entertained that. And then I will wait to be heard on bond when the time is appropriate.
I will adjourn the probable cause August 7th, 2025, 9 a.m. as to bond.
Your Honor, I've been reviewing ex-jail and I wanted to double check if the defendant had been arraigned. It's not clear to me from a couple of different things, but it does appear that he has been set with a $10,000 bond in 25F30979, as well as 25F40523, each $10,000.
Yes.
Your Honor, I do think it's important that the court have some additional information, and I would ask the court to revisit the issue of bond. First and foremost, I think it's important the court know that the facts alleged in the newest case, the 25F30979, it does include the fact that the Michigan State trooper who pulled the defendant over noted in his police report that the defendant had a license on his vehicle that indicated he was a diplomat and that he